I walked right into the police station and yelled, "I'm turning myself in!" The police froze. Conversations died mid-sentence. Officers reached for weapons. I flashed the cryptic black symbol on my arm for the desk sergeant to see. Nightmare spell. "You're infected?" The sergeant's voice carried a mix of fear and respect. 3 days ago. I haven't slept since. I gestured to my bloodshot eyes. "I don't want to hurt anyone when I finally pass out and cross over." The sergeant nodded slowly. He knew that once I fell asleep, I would be sucked into the nightmare realm. If I survived, I'd return with unspeakable powers, awakened. But if I died there, my body would be replaced by a vicious nightmare monster. And most people died there. Voluntary surrender was the most heroic thing I could do. "Coffee?" The sergeant poured a steaming cup. I grabbed the mug and downed the scalding liquid in 3 gulps. Black, bitter, perfect. "Thanks for doing your part for humanity, kid." The sergeant almost sounded genuine. "But regulations are regulations. We've got to process you with the other criminals." I entered the holding cell, and its door slammed shut with mechanical finality. "Fresh meat!" someone called out. I scanned my new roommates. Drunk tank refugees, petty thieves, gang members eyeing each other like predators, and Marcus. The awakened man dominated the space even in prison orange. Enhanced muscles bulged beneath the fabric, proof he'd survived his own nightmare spell and returned with superhuman abilities. "What's a twig like you doing in Gen Pop?" He stood, towering over me. "Nightmare spell." The cell went silent. "Dead man walking," the pickpocket whispered. "They put a walking time bomb in here with us?" The drunk sobered instantly. Marcus grinned. "Relax, boys. We've got hours before this freak turns monster." I sized him up. "So what landed Mr. Universe in here? Armed robbery? Murder?" Marcus puffed out his chest. "Grand Theft Auto." This clown got nicked for wire fraud. The cell erupted in laughter. "Wire fraud?" I couldn't help myself. "You survived the nightmare realm, got superhuman abilities, and chose white-collar crime? That's the lamest thing I've ever heard." The inmates roared. The drunk was cackling. Marcus's face turned crimson. "You're dead." But before he could touch me, alarms shrieked through the station. Gunfire erupted from the adjacent cell block. "Code Black! Nightmare breach in cell block C!" Officers sprinted past our cell, weapons drawn, terror written across their faces. Something inhuman roared in the distance. Metal screeched as it was torn apart. Marcus grabbed my shirt, slamming me against the bars. "You brought friends, freak? That's not how this works, wire fraud." The sounds of battle grew closer. Whatever had manifested was winning. "You think you're funny?" Marcus's enhanced fist cocked back. "Let me fix that smart mouth." His punch connected like a sledgehammer and pain exploded through my skull. My vision blurred, darkness creeping in from the edges. No, not yet. The coffee should have kept me awake longer, but my body betrayed me. Consciousness slipped away like water through a drain. I'm going to survive this. Whatever's waiting in the nightmare realm, I'll beat it. I have to. And when I come back, awakened, with real power, Marcus won't be laughing anymore. "Shit!" A guard's voice echoed as darkness claimed me. "Toss this one into solitary." Marcus's voice followed me into the black. "I'll be the one to put you down when you come back, freak." As I fell into the nightmare realm, I wondered if I'd survive my trial. I blinked, and the next thing I saw was a snowy mountain pass. A translucent screen materialized before me.
"Welcome to the Nightmare Realm, Sleeper. Prepare for your first trial."
This was it. My first trial. I sat up, scanning the alien landscape. Atop a distant cliff stood a giant, dark structure like a temple. Suddenly, a countdown appeared in front of me.
"Survive until sundown. You have 3 hours remaining."
Marcus's threat echoed in my mind. 3 hours until he killed my unconscious body in the real world. I jumped to my feet, ready to sprint toward the temple. But as soon as I took a step, pain erupted around my neck. I crashed onto my back, gasping. Why the hell is there a chain around my neck? We were being dragged up a mountain pass with vicious guards on either side. That's when I first realized it was like a video game. And if this truly was a game, then I could figure out the rules. I concentrated, trying to conjure up a game menu. Shimmering runes appeared in the air in front of me, visible only to my eyes. Name: Sunless. True name: Unknown. Rank: Aspirant. Class: Dormant. Aspect: Temple Slave. Attributes: Child of Shadows. Interesting. Temple Slave sounded ominous as hell, and this attribute, Child of Shadows, sounded useful for stealth applications. Just then, my foot caught on a skull and I stumbled, yanking the chain that connected us all. "Watch it, you little shit!" The shifty-eyed man behind me snarled as the chain jerked him forward. "I'm gonna kill you when I get the chance." "Calm down, Benny." The broad-shouldered slave in front of me didn't even turn around. "Kid's as good as dead anyway. Save your energy for the mountain." I looked at him. "How long have we been walking?" 3 days. The broad-shouldered man, Fraser, grunted. "You were unconscious when they chained you up." "Yeah, we've carried your ass for 3 days, you little punk." Benny raised his fist, but the chain kept him just out of reach. "And now you wake up and immediately trip. Clumsy little rat. I'm gonna throw you off this cliff as soon as I get a chance." That's when I heard hoofbeats approaching. A young soldier, around my age, rode up on a beautiful white horse. His armor was clean and polished. "What's the commotion here?" Benny spat into the bone dust at my feet. "This runt keeps tripping and pulling the chain. I nearly broke my wrist." The soldier looked down at me, and I saw something I hadn't expected. Genuine pity. "You look exhausted. When did you last eat?" I don't know." The soldier unhooked a leather flask from his belt. "Here, drink some of this." Gratefully, I took the flask and crack! Fire exploded across my back as a whip tore through my thin shirt. I stumbled forward, tasting copper as I bit my tongue hard enough to draw blood. "Know your place, kid." An older soldier had appeared behind us. His scarred face was twisted with disgust. "What do you think you're doing, Gregor?" The young soldier, Gregor, straightened in his saddle. "I was giving the boy water, sir. He'll get water when we make camp. These slaves aren't your friends, boy. They're not even people." Not even people? It was always the same. The strong talking down to the weak, even in the dream realm. "Don't you dare look at me, boy." He whipped me again. Gregor tried to argue. "But sir, showing basic mercy." "Shut your mouth and move along." The older soldier wheeled his horse around. "Treat them like people and they'll start imagining things." "Yes, sir." Gregor gave in. As they rode away, I felt something fundamental shift inside me. Anger settled into my bones like winter. It was fuel. Purpose. I'm going to survive this trial. I'm going to become awakened. I might not be strong, but I am smart. Let them underestimate me. I watched Fraser reach for some bright red berries growing beside the path. They looked almost too perfect to be natural in this place of death. "Don't eat those," a tall, dignified man called out. "Those are bloodberries." Fraser paused. "So what? Food is food." "So what?" The scholar shook his head. "Those berries will kill you faster than starvation." My curiosity was piqued. "How do you know?" "I was a botanist. Before this." He gestured at his chains. "Bloodberries only grow where human blood has been spilled. They absorb the iron and turn it into poison." "Poison?" Benny perked up with interest. The scholar nodded. "A few can stop a man's heart in minutes." I glanced around, making sure the guards weren't watching, then quickly hid some of the berries in my pocket. Who knows when they'll come in handy? That's when the mountain exploded. Something massive tore through the front of the caravan with the force of a natural disaster. Wagons erupted into flying wood and metal. their contents scattered like leaves in a hurricane. I watched a horse sail through the air, its rider still in the saddle. "What's going on there? I can't see." Fraser's words were cut off as another explosion sent a shockwave through the ground. The soldiers were shouting orders, drawing swords, but they weren't protecting us. They were fighting for their own lives. There's only one person who can save me: myself. Through the smoke and chaos, I caught my first glimpse of the thing attacking us. My blood turned to ice water in my veins. It was enormous, easily 12 feet tall, covered in bone-white armor that grew from its flesh like natural plating. Its face was a nightmare of too many white, milky eyes and grinding teeth, each one the size of my fist. "Tyrant!" someone screamed. "It's a tyrant!" No way. This can't be real. Tyrants were the most dangerous class of nightmare creatures in existence. They weren't supposed to appear in first nightmares. Ever. I pulled up my status screen with desperate focus, hoping for anything that might help. Name: Sunless. True name: None. Soul rank: Dormant. Memories: None. Echoes: None. Attributes: Child of Shadows. Aspect: Temple Slave. Nothing. Nothing helpful at all. The screen mocked me with its emptiness. That's when I noticed the soldiers' nearby corpses starting to twitch. Oh no, this is about to get even worse. The soldiers who'd been torn apart by the tyrant were getting back up. Zombies. Benny tried to move away from them. "The dead are coming back." "That's impossible," the scholar's voice cracked. "Tell that to them." Fraser pointed at the approaching undead. One of the reanimated soldiers turned toward us, its jaw hanging at an impossible angle. It moved with the mechanical gait of a broken puppet, but it was getting closer with each shambling step. Think, Sonny. I knew I had to come up with an idea now, or never. "The chain! We're all connected by the chain. Listen to me." I waved my hands over the chaos. "When I say pull, everyone pulls as hard as they can." "And what good will that do us?" Benny was not convinced. "You got a better idea?" I shot back. The zombie lurched closer, reaching for Fraser with blackened fingers. "Now! Pull!" The chain went taut like a bowstring. The zombie walked right into it. The iron links caught it across the throat with a sound like a butcher's cleaver hitting bone. We all yanked in different directions, and the creature's head separated from its shoulders. The voice in my head boomed through my ears only.
You have slain a dormant beast, zombie soldier.
We collapsed against each other. We did it. Benny's disbelief was evident in every word. We actually did it. How did you know that would work? The scholar stared at me. I didn't. I shrugged. But doing nothing meant dying for sure. A roar shook the mountain itself. Through the smoke and flames, I saw the tyrant's massive head turn toward us. It was coming our way, and we were still chained together like a buffet offering. We're dead. All of Fraser's earlier confidence evaporated. We're all dead. He only had eyes for the beast, but my eyes were looking somewhere else. I saw other groups of slaves scatter across the battlefield. They were running toward the tree line, disappearing into the dark forest beyond. How had they gotten rid of their chains? I had to figure it out too, if I wanted to survive. If we can untangle our chains, maybe we can find a way out of this. We worked frantically. The ironwork was old but strong, designed to hold much stronger people than us. The chains were hopelessly tangled from our earlier struggle. We're not going to make it, Benny yelled. Don't waste your energy, I commanded. I saw another zombie crawling toward us. Half its torso was gone, but it kept coming. Faster! Finally, with a metallic snap, the links separated. We're free! Tears of relief were streaming down Benny's face, but we weren't. The shackles around our wrists were still locked tight, and worse, we were still chained to the burning wagon behind us. We could move, but not escape. No, I refused to die here. I wrapped the chain around my knuckles, feeling the cold metal bite into my skin hard enough to draw blood. The zombie was almost on us, but I wasn't going to give up without a fight. "Come at me, you..." A flash of silver cut through the darkness. Gregor appeared beside us like something out of legend. His sword separated the zombie's head from its shoulders in one perfect strike. "Gregor!" I noticed his white cloak was somehow still pristine, like he hadn't been fighting for his life in this hellscape. "You're alive." He sounded genuinely relieved to see us breathing. "Thanks to you." I meant it, despite everything. He reached into his belt and threw something small and metallic at my feet. "Save yourself!" It was the key to our shackles. As Gregor rushed back toward the main battle, I unlocked our chains. For the first time since this nightmare began, I could move freely. It feels so good. "Let's go!" Benny yelled. The others were already moving toward the forest edge, driven by the primal need to put distance between themselves and the carnage. I was about to do the same thing when... "Hold on!" I stopped at the tree line. My breath was forming clouds in the suddenly frigid air. "What is it?" Fraser looked back at me. "Something's not right." "You bet your ass something isn't right." Benny was on the edge of leaving me behind. "This monster back there!" But I looked up at the sky. The sun was setting fast, painting the sky in shades of blood and shadow. With it came a bone-deep cold that promised death to anyone caught unprepared. The dark forest stretched ahead of us. It promised unknown dangers and certain hypothermia. "We can't leave the heat." I hated that I had to say these words. "If we go into that forest when the sun sets completely, we'll freeze to death before we make it a mile." "Are you insane?" Benny couldn't believe it. "I'm not staying here." "Look at your breath, Benny. Look how fast the temperature's dropping." He paused, seeing the white puffs of vapor. "The kid's right," Fraser agreed quietly. "Hypothermia will kill us faster than that monster." "But the monster will still kill us," Benny shook his head. "I'll go." "Be my guest, but you have no chance in there." I was certain I was right. "Here, we have a chance at least." Fraser nodded slowly. "Maybe the tyrant will be satisfied with those it's already killed." I nodded back, but inwardly, I knew better. There's no chance this damned beast is done. It won't stop until every last one of us is dead. We crept back toward the burning caravan. And then I witnessed something unbelievable. Through the smoke and flames, I could see Gregor locked in single combat with the tyrant. The young soldier moved like water-made flesh as he dodged the creature's massive claws by margins measured in inches. How is he doing this? This beast should easily tear him apart. But I could see the truth written in his movements. He was slowing down, and the tyrant was taking advantage of it. Gregor stumbled backward, dangerously close to the cliff edge that dropped away into absolute darkness. One wrong step, and he'd plummet into the abyss below. "Poor guy. He's as good as dead," Fraser sighed. "Poor guy? He's one of our captors." Benny smirked with vengeance. "Serves him right." "You're not seeing the bigger picture." I looked at Gregor. "If he dies, so does our only protection from the monster." The tyrant was focused entirely on Gregor, treating him as the only real threat. If it killed him, we'd be next. And unlike the soldier, we had no weapons, no training, no hope of survival in a direct confrontation. "We have to support Gregor," Fraser nodded. "But how?" "Think. There has to be something. Some way to tip the scales." My eyes swept across the battlefield, cataloging available resources with desperate efficiency. Broken weapons? Too far away and probably too heavy for me to use effectively. Loose rocks? Not nearly heavy enough to damage something that size. But then I saw it, and the pieces of a plan clicked into place. Bingo! One of the cargo wagons was still mostly intact despite the chaos, and beside it lay a length of heavy chain from our former prison, just long enough to serve my purposes. "Come with me." "Are you insane?" Benny grabbed my arm. "We should be running as far from that thing as possible." "If we run, we die from cold." I shook him off. "If we stay here and do nothing, we die from claws. This is the only chance we have to actually survive. What's your plan? Fraser demanded. See that wagon? We're going to use it as an anchor. I wrapped the chain around the wagon's rear axle, creating a long tether that stretched toward the cliff edge where the battle raged. The wagon was heavy but mobile, positioned on a slight slope that led directly toward the precipice. Push! I climbed onto the wagon bed and took hold of the chain. Push as hard as you can. I'm doing my best, Benny protested even as he started pushing. Try harder! Fraser and Benny threw their combined weight against the wagon. It groaned like a living thing, then started to roll with gathering momentum. Gregor spared me half a glance as the wagon gained speed. Whatever you're doing, do it fast. Without showing a hint of emotion, the young warrior doubled his efforts, drawing the tyrant's attention away from me with a series of increasingly aggressive attacks. Smart. He gets it. We're going to do this together. I focused on the weight of the chain in my hands, the distance between me and the tyrant, and the precise trajectory I'd need to make this work. The wagon was picking up speed now, rolling faster toward the cliff edge with each passing second. Please, don't miss. We only get one shot at this. Gathering all my strength, I spun and threw the chain into the air like a fisherman casting his net. The loop opened as it flew, arcing toward the position where Gregor and the tyrant danced their deadly dance. I'd aimed for the creature's feet. If I could tangle its legs, maybe Gregor could finish it while it was off balance. But in the last moment, the tyrant suddenly flinched backward from one of Gregor's strikes. No! I cursed, but then I realized that this was even better. Instead of falling to the ground, the chain kept flying through the air. It looped and landed perfectly around the tyrant's massive neck. It worked! Fraser shouted. The metal links tightened like an iron noose. I froze for a moment, not believing my eyes. Then I clenched my jaw and balled my fists. Yes! The wagon hit a large rock, but the chain was already doing its work. It went tight as a bowstring, and the tyrant was yanked backward. Die, you giant! Gregor, get back! I screamed. As the wagon disappeared behind the cliff, its weight pulled the tyrant with it. The creature disappeared with a horrifying roar. We did it! Benny's voice cracked with relief and disbelief. We actually did it! Fraser was laughing like a madman. The boy's a genius, a bloody genius. But I was thinking about something else. Something was wrong. When I'd killed the zombie, there had been a booming announcement from the voice. This time, there was nothing. I felt my stomach drop like a stone. The tyrant isn't dead yet. The words cut through their celebration like a blade. The laughter stopped abruptly. Gregor wiped blood from a cut on his cheek. We'll need to wait out the night. Hopefully that thing stays down there and doesn't find a way back up. Benny and Fraser huddled closer to the largest fire, debating whether to risk moving in the dark or stay put until dawn. I wasn't really listening because something much more important was happening. The voice had returned.
Survived until sundown. Memory unlocked.
A memory? Memories could be anything. Weapons, enchanted items, or magical artifacts that defied the laws of physics. Whatever memory I unlock, it better help me fight back against the people who've stepped on me my entire life.
Memory received. Silver Bell. A small memento of a long-lost home, which once brought its owner comfort and joy. Its clear ringing can be heard from miles away.
Shit. Complete and utter shit. I didn't even understand what this meant, but the one thing that I did understand was that my first memory was as useless as everything else the nightmare spell had given me. But as I stared at the bell's description, something clicked in my mind. Its clear ringing can be heard from miles away. I can use that. The tyrant's eyes had been completely milky white. It had only turned toward us when the wagon started making noise. It hunts by sound, not sight. It's completely blind. Maybe this memory wasn't completely useless after all. That's when I heard it. The unmistakable sound of rock grinding against rock. Oh no. The sound of something impossibly large and heavy climbing up from the depths. It's coming back up. My voice cut through their whispered debate. Gregor's face went pale in the firelight. "We need to move, now." But Fraser and Benny hesitated, shooting glances at each other while Gregor gathered what supplies he could find. That's when I saw it clearly, written in their body language and the way they looked at me when they thought I wasn't paying attention. They were planning to leave me behind, even before the tyrant made its comeback announcement. They've decided I'm expendable, even though I had been the one who saved their lives. I was furious. They think they can treat me like dead weight? I'll go first. I kept my voice casual and selfless. If it comes for us, it'll probably come for me anyway, since I'm the slowest. Benny and Fraser exchanged a look of relief. They think I'm just a scared kid who doesn't know any better. We loaded lumber into one of the surviving wagons, creating a mobile fire that would keep us warm as we moved through the freezing mountain air. And then, in the distance, silhouetted against the starlit sky like something out of a fever dream, I could see a building perched on a high ridge. It looked as if it had been carved from the living rock of the mountain itself. Something about it called to me with absolute certainty. That's where this trial ends, one way or another. The cold bit through my torn clothes as I led the way up the winding path. Behind me, the others followed with the wagon. "Hey kid," Benny called from behind. "When that thing catches up, you're running toward it, not away. Understand?" "What?" I turned back. "You heard me. You're the slowest. Better one of us dies than all of us." Fraser nodded in agreement. "Kid's right to volunteer. Noble, even." "I never volunteered for anything." "Sure you did." Benny grinned nastily. "When you said you'd go first. We're just making sure you follow through." So I had been right. They had been plotting against me. Fraser slapped me on the back. "That's only if the tyrant catches up. We hold no grudge against you otherwise." "Yeah, sure," I responded, but I thought, can't say I feel the same way. I wasn't going to make it so easy for them. I began fidgeting with the water flask. It was the one Gregor had originally offered me, which felt like years ago. Lifting the flask to my mouth, I noticed how the others watched me with thirsty, desperate eyes. "You still have water?" Fraser's voice was hoarse. I hesitated. entirely. Most notably, a deep hollow in the rocks ahead, completely shrouded in shadow. We're almost there. I kept my voice supportive, even as I watched Fraser deteriorate. Just keep moving. Don't give up now when we're so close to safety. This isn't altitude sickness. Fraser's panic made his voice shrill as more blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. What is this? What's happening to me? And then he understood. You little... Fraser's eyes went wide with realization. You poisoned us! I nodded. I'm sorry it had to come to this, Fraser. But you drank bloodberry juice. Panic lit up in his milky eyes. You're dead, Sunless! But then followed a truth I hadn't expected. Kill him, Gregor! It was your idea. Stab the boy, leave him here as bait, and then we'll be able to make it safely. Gregor? He was in on it? And according to Fraser, he had even been the one pulling the strings. I heard the whisper of steel being drawn from its sheath. Behind me, Gregor had his sword out. So you've poisoned them. Gregor's voice carried neither anger nor judgment. You poisoned the water. I cursed myself. If only I had poisoned you too. It wouldn't have worked. Gregor shook his head with a smirk. I wouldn't have been affected. Because I'm an awakened. I was stunned. An awakened? How was this possible? How was he here? And why? I knew what was coming next. Gregor would go for a clean kill. Quick, efficient, professional. But I've been planning for this moment since the moment I saw that hollow in the rocks. Fraser stumbled forward, reaching toward me with blood-slicked fingers. Please, help me. That's when Gregor moved with lethal grace. He pushed Fraser into the depths beside him. Now it's just you and me, Sunless. But I was already diving into the shadow-filled hollow I'd spotted earlier. The darkness swallowed me completely, just as Gregor's blade whistled through the empty air where my head had been a split second before. Come out! From the safety of the shadows, I could see the soldier perfectly. He moved like a hunter who'd done this before, scanning the darkness with trained eyes. But he couldn't see me at all. I was invisible, protected by shadows that welcomed me like a long-lost child. Child of shadows. I guess it pays to be enemies with the sun. I didn't think you were in on it. My voice came from everywhere at once. You gave me water. You showed me kindness. So why did you do it? There's no kindness where there's only survival, Gregor just shrugged. You seem to have understood this when you poisoned them. You're right. I was disgusted by my actions, but I would take them again. Now it's just you, me, and the tyrant. Show yourself! Gregor's mask was starting to slip now. I have people depending on me, a family and a future that matters. And I don't? I moved again. You don't deserve to live more than I do. Yes, I do! The words exploded out of him like a dam bursting. I'm an awakened. I'm important. You're nothing. A slave. A nobody who'll never matter to anyone. All his attention was focused on hunting me through the darkness. He's in distress, I noticed. That's when people get careless. I pulled out my memory. The silver bell was small and innocent looking, but I knew its true purpose now. I understood exactly why the spell had given me this particular tool. Its clear ringing can be heard from miles away. Miles. I gulped, knowing that what I planned could easily be considered suicide. I threw it toward Gregor's position with all the strength I could muster. The sound wasn't gentle or musical like I'd expected. It was like a firework going off inside my skull. The echoes bounced from peak to peak, multiplying and amplifying until the entire mountain range rang like a bell. And then, from far below us, came an answering roar of recognition and hunger. The tyrant! Gregor's face went white as fresh snow as he understood what I'd done. You little shit! But I was already running. I burst from the shadows like a creature born from darkness itself and sprinted up the final ridge toward the temple. My enhanced vision picked out the safest path through the treacherous terrain. Behind me, I could hear Gregor cursing as he gave chase, and beneath that, something much worse. The tyrant was climbing toward us, drawn by the bell's supernatural call like a moth to flame, and it was moving fast. My hands were bleeding from scrambling over sharp stones. My lungs burned in the thin mountain air, but I couldn't stop. The temple was so close now, maybe 50 meters away. I risked a glance back and immediately wished I hadn't. The tyrant's massive form was silhouetted against the fires below as it was moving up the nearly vertical mountain face with the fluid grace of a spider. Shit! It's so fast! Wait! Gregor's desperation cracked his voice. We can work together. We can fight it! But it was too late for alliances and trust. Too late for anything but survival. The temple loomed ahead now. This is it. The place where everything changes. This is where I stop being weak. And my nightmare ends one way or the other. 20 meters. 15. 10. Gregor had almost caught up to me. You're dead, Sunless. But at that very moment, his torso was ripped apart. The tyrant had reached him and had wasted no time destroying every inch of Gregor's existence within seconds. It gave me the time to forge ahead. The tyrant's roar shook the mountain itself. It quickly moved on from Gregor's disfigured body. I could feel its breath on my neck. 5 meters. I dove through the temple's door just in time. It shut immediately behind me. I made it. I actually made it. Pain beyond description exploded through my chest as something massive punched through my ribcage from behind. I looked down in shock to see a claw the size of a sword protruding from my chest. The tyrant had won the race. It had destroyed the door and reached me with ease. No, not like this. Not when I'm so close to power. The world started to fade around the edges. My mouth filled with the bitter taste of blood and disappointment. All my life, I'd believed that if I just had power, I could be something special. But here I was, dying in a nightmare temple, and nothing had changed. I was still weak. No! The word exploded through my mind with the force of a nuclear detonation. I refuse! I have to live! I have to become more! I grabbed the claw protruding from my chest. I pulled with everything I had. But the claw was buried too deep. The tyrant was too strong. It was like trying to lift the world with my bare hands. But I kept pulling anyway, because giving up meant accepting that they were right about me. That I was worthless. That I was nothing. That I was never meant to survive the nightmare realm. I shook my head. I refuse to be powerless. And that's when the temple floor began to glow beneath me. As my blood spread through the carved channels, the light grew stronger and brighter with each passing second. Green energy erupted from the runes, cascading upward in pillars of fire. Every nerve burned, every vein lit up. Shadows peeled from the walls and surged into me, and for the first time, I felt it. Strength. Awakening in progress. Next time on Shadow Slave, Sunny has finally unlocked real power, the kind that can turn a nobody into a force the nightmare realm itself must reckon with. But strength in this world always comes with a price. Is this the beginning of his rise, or the start of his downfall? Will his newfound power save him from the tyrant, or will it transform him into something even worse than the monsters he's been fighting? Sunny's nightmare is only just beginning.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.